This is my first walk into the MotoVlogging series, I guess, I've got on my 1979 Yamaha XS400. This bike, I'm the second owner of it. I've owned the bike since I was about 17 years old. The lady across the street from where I live asked me if I wanted a motorcycle. She goes, "You ride dirt bikes, do you want a motorcycle?" I said, "Sure, I will gladly take a motorcycle if the price is right." And she told me that the price was the calm and collected fee of $0 and 0 cents. So I walked over and pushed the bike out of her garage and pushed it across the street, and my mom asked me what I was doing. I proceeded to tell her that the neighbor lady gave me a motorcycle with a signed and notarized title. So my mom walked across the street and verified what I had said to be accurate, and they confirmed that I'm not telling a lie, I'm being honest about it. And so the bike was ridden from 2001 through 2002, and I was working for a local golf course that had 27 holes of golf, and I decided to leave my keys in my pocket instead of being a responsible adult and putting them in a locker. I decided that I'm going to keep them on my body, and while I was working the golf course, I lost the keys. Being this 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid, I didn't want to fart with the bike. I had another car, and I'm just going to drive my car. I was real big into Volkswagen, got a 94 Jetta that I've done some work to, and I didn't feel like playing with the motorcycle. Fast forward 16 and a half years, I was at a bike show at a local motorcycle shop up in Monroe, Ohio, by the name of Sparky's. And I saw a Harley-Davidson 1200 Roadster that I fell in love with. And we talked, and we decided that we were going to get this bike out and get it running. So on July 29th, I put the bike out, got it on a trailer, and got it from where it was sitting at my mom and dad's house to my house where I could work on it. I pulled the carburetors off, and I sprayed a little bit of carb cleaner down the carburetor body and shot a couple of shots of ether in it, and the bike sputtered to life. Very rough, but she sputtered to life. Light at the end of the tunnel. About a week goes by, and I called my father and asked him if he'd be interested in helping me clean out some carbs, and we got a couple buckets of Chem Dip, and we pulled the carburetors off of the motorcycle and let them soak overnight. The next morning we went to church, came home, changed our clothes, pulled the carburetors out of the Chem Dip, and threw a couple spark plugs in the cylinders and put the bike back together and hit the start button, and she roared to life, which, much to my demise, was something that was not going to happen. I figured this bike was going to need a lot of work, but thankfully she didn't. The bike, she's a little rough right now. You can see the handlebars and the master cylinder and the cables and all that are kind of around. New tires sitting at the house waiting for me to install them. It's going to be a winter project style bike. I'm going to get my tires on it first for safety, and then I'm going to start kind of modding it, working on it, and getting her up and running, and kind of cafe the bike out a little bit. Different taillights, different turn signal. I've already installed a LED headlight on the bike and load equalizer, and I got LEDs in the gauges and that kind of stuff, more for longevity rather than I need LED. I'd rather change the bulb once every 5 or 6 years, and whenever the stator decides to pump out more than 12 volts. So that's the brief history of this bike, and my MotoVlogging series will kind of be in and around Cincinnati, going to Coffee and Cars and Fuel Coffee, going to the Milford Car Show, riding out to the Pumpkin Run. Cincinnati's kind of got a good car scene in it. We're not too far away from Detroit, the motor capital of the U.S. We had a Cincinnati-based GE plant in Norwood, Ohio for a very long time. And we're kind of, I won't say we're a mecca, but we are kind of a gearhead city. We've got a lot of stuff going on, anywhere from the Concours d'Elegance, which is your finest of the fine, all the way down to your hoodlums and stuff like that running their street cars. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video for this time around. Next time I chime in, it'll probably be, I probably plan on doing a video once a week as long as the weather cooperates. Next week it'll be the install of the tire, the Shinko 712s. I just got those in this morning. So next week we'll be riding out to Bethel to Racer's Edge to get my tires installed. They're fairly price effective on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Throw me a thumbs up, throw me a subscribe, what have you. I know there's a million different motovloggers on YouTube, but I'm hoping to have a little bit something different because a lot of those guys just buy bikes and ride them. This one's going to be built, not bought. So thanks for riding with me.